Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thank you for being here as well, or as John Fetterman might say, as well too.
Oh, man.
As well too, also. Also as well too.
Okay. He's made progress.
I know. I mentioned that yesterday. He's made really good progress. Did you see the clip of him?
I did.
He's speaking pretty well now.
I know.
Yeah, he's doing well, it seems like.
His rehab is working. Good.
Yeah, and he had that reset, that factory reset that made him way more conservative.
It hasn't fixed how he votes, though.
No, not yet. We need it to, but it hasn't. That hasn't kicked in, that part. All right, lot going on. A lot going on with the bridge collapse. There are some who believe it was intentional.
Oh man, that was all over.
Oh,
holy cow!
You know, somebody I really like, Lara Logan, wrote a really, really interesting and compelling piece about how she believes it to be a terror strike. It was on purpose. You know, I mean, they will point to the fact, I'm sure, that the pilot called in and said, "Look, we're having trouble. You better close the bridge."
Right.
So could they have just wanted to screw up travel in that area and shipping in that area and not kill anybody? I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe this just makes it look more legitimate that it was an accident. Or maybe.
And the captain didn't realize what was happening.
Yeah, but here's what Lara Logan tweeted out. Multiple intel sources. Baltimore bridge collapse was an absolutely brilliant strategic attack on U.S. critical infrastructure. Most likely cyber, and our intel agencies know it. In information warfare terms, they just divided the U.S. along the Mason-Dixon line exactly like the Civil War. Second busiest strategic roadway in the nation for hazardous material. Now down for 4 to 5 years, which is how long they say it'll take to recover. Bridge was built specifically to move hazardous material, fuel, diesel, propane gas, nitrogen, highly flammable materials, chemicals, and oversized cargo that can't fit in the tunnels.
Yes. So now
the supply chain now crippled.
And are we going to just have a special dispensation now for the hazardous materials to go through the tunnel?
Let's hope not. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle this. I don't know if they know how they're going to handle this.
I-95, right?
Yeah. That's a major artery. Make no mistake, she continues, this was an extraordinary attack in terms of planning, timing, and execution. The two critical components on that bridge are the two load-bearing pylons on each end closest to the shore. They're bigger, thicker, and deeper than anything else. These are the anchor points. They knew that hitting either one of them
would drop it.
Would be a fatal wound to the integrity of the bridge. Half a mile of the bridge went into the river. Likely, you'll have to build a new one. Yeah, I would say so. Also caused so much damage to the structural integrity of the bottom concrete part that you cannot see and won't know until they take the wreckage apart. Yeah. Structural destruction, likely absolute. Attack, perfectly targeted. All right. I mean, she has a lot more. If you
I think the next line is very important in her piece there.
They have figured out that part?
No, as long as you stay away. Yeah, they figured out
how to bring us down. Yeah. As long as you stay away from the teeth of the U.S. military, you can pick apart the U.S.
Yep, there we go.
We're arrogant and ignorant, a lethal combination. Obama said they would fundamentally transform America, and they did. We're in a free fall ride on a roller coaster right now. No brakes, just picking up speed.
This is a fun ride, right? Here we are.
It's really not. It's not a fun ride. Really no, I don't enjoy it. I'm not having a good time with this.
Not necessarily enjoying it either.
No. So yesterday, Biden spoke about the bridge collapse in Baltimore.
He's on it.
At about 1:30, container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times commuting from the state of Delaware, either on a train or by car.
That's
been in Baltimore Harbor many times.
No. Bro.
Yeah, you might have noticed there are no train tracks
My gosh.
on the bridge.
Either by train or car, though. He was
Either by
somewhere.
train or car.
One of those.
Yeah. He may have meant that when he went by car, he traveled over the bridge. I don't know. I don't want to give him any credit because he has no clue.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And he fought with the teleprompter, as usual.
Over 30,000 vehicles cross the Francis Scott Key Bridge on a daily basis. It's virtually, it's one of the most important elements for the economy in the Northeast.
You can see the moment when he gives up reading the teleprompter.
Yeah, that's virtually. Anyway, look, there's a lot of people there. It's big and stuff. Okay, and he made a promise to Baltimore.
It's my intention that the federal government will pay for the entire cost of reconstructing that bridge, and I expect the Congress to support my effort. This is going to take some time. The people of Baltimore can count on us, though, to stick with them at every step of the way.
A lot like the people of Ohio.
And the bridge is rebuilt. You know, we're not leaving until this job gets done.
Wow.
Not leaving until then. So I just want to say God bless everybody who got everyone harmed this morning and their families. And may God bless the first responders, who many of them risking their lives. And
what about the Queen?
The reason I'm not going to take a lot of questions, there's remaining issues that are open that we got to determine what's going to happen in terms of the rescue mission and the like. But
Do you plan to go to Baltimore, sir? And if so, how quickly?
I do, and as quickly as I can. That's what
you said the federal government's also going to pay for the repairs. I'm just curious. This was a ship that appears to be at fault. Is there any reason to believe that the company behind the ship should be held responsible? And then also,
excellent question.
We're not going to wait for that happen. We're going to pay for it to get the bridge rebuilt and opened.
Okay.
There you go.
God save the Queen, man.
Okay, thank you. I was a little disappointed.
Right.
What are the odds that if a ship is going to lose control like that, and it's a strict accident, that it's going to happen right there
at the most important part of the bridge?
Important part of the bridge. Well, one of the most important bridges in the country. Hold on, Jeffrey. Hold on. This is I-95. I have learned so much about what they carry over that bridge on a daily basis. What were you going to say?
I mean, sometimes it's just an accident.
Sometimes it is. And if a ship loses control, that's one thing. If a ship loses control at the weakest point of what can be argued is the most important bridge on the East Coast, yeah, it's just, you're right. It's an accident.
I am surprised that since, I mean, this was built, in 77? Since then, we have learned that, maybe we ought to put up some barriers around those bridge trestles. When that happened to the Sunshine Skyway in Florida. A ship, was in a storm and hit the bridge, and down it came. People lost their lives on that, the one span of the Skyway Bridge. So when they built the new one, they put in, these giant barriers around the trestle so that if a ship does lose control like that, you don't hit the bridge.
See, there's also a movie that Pat and I have seen. I'm not sure who else associated with the program has, Leave the World Behind, where a cargo ship goes out of control, runs aground. I guess a lot of them did, actually. We just only saw the one. A movie by the Obamas. Just pointing that out.
Another weird coincidence. There's several coincidences associated with this disaster.
Are we going to recall our soldiers building the port in Gaza? Bring them back to build up Baltimore?
Actually,
I was just wondering.
Can you, to Jeffy's point about it could have been an accident, let's do the flashback, clip 6 here, because, no, not clip 6. That's different.
Something else.
Where's the one where, clip 5. The same ship, the Dolly, had electrical issues back in 2016, and it ran into the side. This is over in Europe, and there it is.
So it ran into something already?
It has. So, again, to Jeffy's point.
Is that the same ship?
Yeah, the Dolly. And they also said it just had some issues that they checked, and it's fine. Just keep going.
So hold on. Did
it was
Boeing,
nothing catastrophic.
So Boeing made this ship, apparently.
Boeing checked it out and said, everything's go. Everything's a go.
We're good.
You're doing fine. There's nothing wrong with this thing. Does it still float? Yeah, go.
Get it out of here.
Go.
Chris, what's this? So you condensed a video? It's a
The 7-minute boat?
Yes.
thing?
So you guys were asking where was this boat at?
Yeah, we wanted more context.
We want more content. So this video, Joe can play it. We'll give you more content. The boat was docked, so it did not go under the bridge twice like people were saying.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you
I didn't
said,
think
which
so.
wasn't
Yeah,
true.
so go ahead and play it, Joe. So it was docked, and it's leaving the
Yeah,
dock.
it's leaving. They have the port. They have the port captain manning the ship, right? Along with the ship's captain.
And when he loses control and he calls in a mayday, that enabled them to close the bridge down. If I'm not
Look at all the
mistaken.
traffic going across.
Yes, and
That's why,
those
yeah.
seven
Then they stopped it.
Those construction workers were the ones that heard the call, and they stopped the traffic, and then
they lost their lives.
they lost their lives.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were pronounced dead by authorities last night.
Oh,
Was it 6?
6.
They saved 2.
Yeah,
6 are
saved
dead.
2. Yeah.
You see it
Really sad.
losing power and stuff.
Oh,
and-
Yeah. Now, the pilot claims that he dropped anchor.
Wow. I didn't know
He
that.
tried a bunch
Yeah.
of different measures to slow
Try
it
to
down
stop it.
and stop it, and then that happened. Oof. Man, that went down fast.
It
Sure
ran down
does.
fast. And I know Jeffrey's going to debunk this very quickly, but New York Post had an interview with a bridge engineer, and he said that a cargo ship in today will definitely bring down a bridge.
Yeah.
Very
They're just so
quickly.
big that
Yes, they are. But they also said in that interview that it wouldn't matter. Later on in that interview, he said that it wouldn't have mattered the size of the ship.
any ship would have brought it down.
Yeah.
A canoe? Would a canoe?
Yes, Pat,
Could it
a
bring it down?
canoe. Yes, one of the Norwegian canoes. They
Like
just
if you could
found,
really, if it was a bunch of Harvard rowers, because they're
you
really
can't
good.
mess with those. They go too
Yeah,
fast.
you can't mess.
You can't.
So that
Do
would
not
bring it
mess.
down.
Yeah.
The momentum, yeah.
Wow.
That's fair.
All right. Then there's nothing they could do, I guess.
Nothing you
Thank
can do.
you.
Nothing you can
Canoe
do.
would bring it down. All right.
Now, maybe we would
I'm a fan
have
of the rowers, though.
less problems in America with our transportation system if the transportation secretary, the overqualified Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
You seen this flashback from 2022 where he tells us the
not.
problem are that bridges, well, they're racist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let's hear
If
that.
an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or there would have been, in New York was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects
What?
racism that went into those design choices. I don't think we have anything to lose by confronting that simple reality, and I think we have everything to gain by acknowledging
the white
what's your
buses
problem
would
with
fit
that?
under
dealing
it.
with it, which is why
Right.
we're reconnecting communities.
No,
that
buses
$1
with-
billion
No,
is
no
something we
buses.
want
All
to
right,
get to
stop
right
him.
away.
Stop it, for the love of heaven.
So he's saying that
That's embarrassing.
that when they are designing these bridges,
Yes.
they're making sure that the buses that carry black and Latino children
Puerto
to,
Ricans.
and
Can't
Puerto
go under
Ricans
them.
to the beach,
Yeah.
they can't get
Can't
under
get
there.
there.
Because
but the buses that carry the white kids to the beach, those
No,
do
the
fit.
the white people don't live with the Puerto Ricans. And
I know,
the
but it
Azs,
can
so-
still travel the same road.
No, they don't
they're
live. No, they don't. They don't live. That's live
Okay.
on the other side of the overpass. No, thank
So
you.
I understood him
Asinine.
to say.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
thought that Mayor Pete was saying that the bridge sees the minority kids coming, and then it like scrunches down so they couldn't come in. Oh,
Yeah.
here's the white kids. Let me. My word, that's DEI hire right there, man. That is
It's just desperation. Everything has to be racist.
everything.
Bridges, roads, words, everything.
Yes.
Actually, claiming not to be racist is racist.
Right.
Yeah, how dare
Claiming
you.
that the skin color doesn't matter to you, that's racist.
Caring about all people.
That's racist. Yeah, if you think all people deserve to live, I'm sorry,
Nope.
you're a racist.
Nope.
You're a pathetic hate monger who mongers in hate, and we can't have that.
No, we cannot.
There's no room for that here. We can't tolerate it in this society. So yesterday, RFK Jr. did go ahead and disappoint just about everybody who decided they liked him.
Bro.
Just
my gosh.
stupid.
so
Why did you
bad.
do this?
'Cause she
Nicole
has money.
Shanahan?
Because she has money.
She has money, but so do a lot of people.
Boy,
Hey, you
know?
don't like her.
this was this was painful. This was absolutely painful. This is Robert Kennedy Jr. He was up 28-3 with independent voters, and then he picked Nicole Shanahan, and he has blown it.
Yeah.
She is.
So you're not going to vote for him now?
I'm not. Well, I was considering voting for him. I was.
That's my question. You're not going to vote for him now?
Probably not. Yeah, I would say I'm already looking at the Constitution Party. I'm interested to see who the Libertarians put up. I might vote for Donald Trump. I just don't know right now.
So she's contributed a lot of money to a lot of people, that, including Joe Biden, to get him elected. Let's see. Also, abortions on demand, radical climate advocacy, and ending oil. Defunding police,
criminal
and
justice
bail reform.
Look at this. I mean, this is just a far left rap sheet.
Hillary Clinton, Ro Khanna, Pete Buttigieg, we just discussed. Marianne Williamson, of course, Joe Biden. Soros-backed DAs.
Now, I will say, if when you have a lot of money, all these dingleberries come knocking.
So
you don't have to give them money.
Yeah, you have to.
No, you don't.
have to. Yeah.
No, you can say no.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Now there is a silver lining to RFK going this far left with his selection. It's that he is clearly, it appears anyway, trying to siphon votes from Joe Biden instead of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I hope that's the case.
That's a good
hope that works.
Silver lining.
That is a good move. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Here she is. Here's a clip from her speech yesterday.
This is the best we could find that wasn't like. It was so bad. This speech was so bad. And this is just a small little piece of it here.
And yet the Republican Party, like the Democratic, is letting them down because the actions of the party are diverting from the values that actually support individual freedom.
Yeah.
This was the best part of the speech, y'all. I'm serious.
In fact, the very failure of both parties to do their job to protect their founding values has contributed to the decline of this country in my lifetime.
Yeah. Clap for me.
Maybe that's why I see so many Republicans disillusioned with their party as I become disillusioned with mine. If you are one of those disillusioned Republicans, I welcome you to join me, a disillusioned Democrat.
Yeah, no.
In this movement to unify and heal America.
Kennedy Shanahan.
This speech did
Kennedy
nothing for. Yeah, he introduced her.
Okay.
Yeah. This speech did nothing to get conservatives to support her.
What? I'm so inspired from
moved.
that. What we just saw. You're not moved?
I am not.
Huh.
And that was the best part of the speech because the other 98% of it was just a liberal pipe dream.
Well, any female that's smart enough to have a little business with a rich guy and have a kid and then, get a bunch of money from a divorce.
The Elon
I
Musk,
love her. No.
Sergey
Her
Brin?
hubby was Brin.
Yeah, but
Brin.
But the rumor is
but they both denied that.
Yep.
They both denied that. She said that she was talking to Elon about putting the neuro implants into the kid who is, struggling.
I want to know if RFK offered the vice presidency to a Mike Rowe because in that clip we played last
Aaron
week,
Rodgers even.
or Aaron Rodgers or Jesse Ventura or whatever, because Mike Rowe said in that clip, I should have had him pull that back up. He said he asked me about, he told me to consider it, and I have, and something like that. It was very ambiguous, but it sounded like it was.
It sounded like he was offered.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if she was 4th or 5th on the list, but
she should have been 4,000th on the list. Maybe
go raise money.
I really want you, and please donate money, but no.
But no. No. There's plenty of people with money, if that's what you're looking for. A lot of people have money. So I don't really understand this pick. It's one of the really huge, glaring mistakes that I think he's made during this campaign.
But hey, again, if this takes enough votes away from Joe Biden in swing states...
Yes, that's great. Now, about Donald Trump's running mate. Is it Marco Rubio, perhaps?
I want to turn to politics. There was some reporting this week that you are possibly under consideration to be Donald Trump's running mate. I don't put a lot of stock in this reporting right now, or we're early. But you said it would be an honor to be offered a spot on his ticket. Really?
Yeah, I think anyone who's offered the opportunity to serve this country as vice president should be honored by the opportunity to do it if you're in public service. I'm in the Senate because I want to serve the country. Being vice president is an important way to serve the country. But I've also been clear, I've never talked to Donald Trump. I've never talked to anybody on his team or family or inner circle about vice president. That's a decision he's going to make. He has plenty of really good people to pick from.
I mean, the reason why I ask is, I mean, look what happened to the last guy. I mean, a mob stormed the Capitol, literally calling to hang Mike Pence.
Listen,
and Trump defended those chants of hanging Mike Pence.
I will tell you this, that when Donald Trump was president of the United States, this country was safer, it was more prosperous. We had relations, for example, in a part of the world that I care about called the Western Hemisphere that were very strong. We had a lot of good things done there. I think the country and the world was a better place when he was president. And I would love to see him return to the White House in comparison to the guy who's there now, Joe Biden, who's been a disaster economically. Look at the world. Every single day we wake up to a new crisis, to a new conflict. Everything has gone on fire since the time Joe Biden took over. Afghanistan's gone down. Ukraine has been invaded. Now the Philippines and the Chinese are on the verge of something bad happening every single day, not to mention the threats to Taiwan. We have this blow up in Haiti going on in our very own hemisphere. We wake up every single day, terrist attacks.
Yes.
9 million people across the board.
You're not suggesting that's all happening because of Biden.
Absolutely, I am. Absolutely, I'm suggesting it happening because of Biden. He's president, and his weakness and his...
It's because of Biden that Russia invaded Ukraine?
Absolutely.
That Haiti?
Hello? Absolutely. I mean, Putin is sitting there saying, these guys can't even stand up to the Taliban, and they have to fly people hanging off the wings of these airplanes. Now's the time to go.
I mean, Trump's the one saying that suggesting that there should be a deal that effectively gives Putin what he wants in Ukraine. But can we take a quick...
That's not true. What he has said is he wants the conflict to end, which is striking to me that people... Why wouldn't people want peace? I've said is there is going to be a negotiated... So Russia's not going to take all of Ukraine. And Ukraine's not going to push Russia back to where it was in 2014. I want Ukraine to have the upper hand in any negotiation.
Wow.
I mean, that was a great answer from Marco.
Yeah.
That's why we loved him from the very beginning when he first ran for Senate in Florida. But John Carl.
Yeah, come on. What happened to him?
Wow.
I used to think he was decent. You know, he was fair. Boy, he's not. Hasn't been lately, that's for sure.
That interview was terrible.
I mean, you could consider just some of the international things that have gone on.
Yeah.
Some of the policies of this president that have led to the slaughter in Israel, the debacle of the pullout in Afghanistan. China continues to threaten to invade Taiwan. The censure of the U.S. from the British Parliament for the first time in history. The French are pissed off at us over the submarine deal they were left out of. The border invasion catastrophe. I'm sure there's 100 more things I could name, and that's not even getting into the economy. Inflation,
domestically,
taxes, wages.
Well, Trump, we had money.
Right.
Sure did.
That's right. I mean, it's a disaster, John Carl. And you're, like, okay with it? Are you suggesting that that's because of Joe Biden?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was the only opening that Rubio needed. Oh, okay. It's like you pulled a string. Are you suggesting this is only about Joe Biden? Go.
Yeah.
And Rubio's like, yes, this, and this. I mean, that was the easiest answer ever,
And you can bet your rectal cavity that if Trump was the guy in office, they'd be blaming him
100%.
for everything and then some. They're still blaming him for things.
They're still blaming him.
3.5 years after his presidency, they're blaming him for the border. Are you kidding me? It's incredible. It's really incredible. Did you see, too, that the Biden story about how he got into politics is apparently also a completely made-up lie?
What's this? All a lie.
All of it. Everything he ever says.
Oh, I didn't see this.
For nearly 2 decades, Joe Biden has told a story about why he devoted his life to politics. He repeated the tale at the risk of facing criminal charges for lying to a federal agent while speaking to special counsel Robert Hur back in October. He tells this story that fresh out of law school and working as a clerk at a high-powered Wilmington, Delaware law firm, Biden, in his telling, was tapped to defend a construction company sued by a 23-year-old welder who, quote, lost part of his penis and one of his testicles, unquote, to a fire that broke out when he was working inside a chimney.
Man?
It's not funny.
It's terrible.
It's not funny. But he's working inside a chimney at a Delaware City plant.
Doesn't that sound like something I would want to have happen?
Yes. No, it doesn't sound like you. Not to you, anyway, right? You probably wouldn't wish that.
I don't necessarily.
Worst enemy.
Well.
Anyway, he claims, thanks to his shrewd legal defense on the construction company's behalf, the injured man lost the case. I wrote this memo, and son of a bitch, it prevailed. That's what he told her.
That's a quote. Yeah, that is a quote.
And I looked over at that kid, and I thought, son of a bitch, I'm in the wrong business. I'm not made for this. He said he was so...
Yeah, that's why he got into politics.
So racked with guilt, he concocted an excuse to avoid a celebratory lunch with one of the firm's named partners and walked into the public defender's office to ask for a job that very day.
Did he?
Did you?
Wow.
Then listen to this. Here's what he told Robert Hur. It's the only time I ever lied.
Hold on a second. And was that the second time?
Yeah, that was the second time. Yeah. Yes. Oh, my God. Has he ever told the truth?
No.
About anything? He's been caught in so many
all
lies.
Of it. It's all
over the
made
years.
up.
And it's not just during his presidency. He has lied his butt off forever. Are you kidding? But the story is almost certainly a complete work of fiction. Although Biden did work at a law firm tapped to defend a construction company in negligence suit, the one like he described to her. The case concluded in 1968 while Biden was still in law school.
Wow.
Also, the welder won that case. Walked away with $315,000, which would be more than $2.8 million in today's money.
That still does not seem like enough.
Yeah, my
to cover what happened to him.
If you lost part of your noodle and one of your giblets, that
does not seem like enough.
A little bit more.
So, this is the guy whose 1988 presidential campaign collapsed because of a plagiarism case.
But that's the only time I ever lied.
Okay. But this report is based on a review of court records obtained from the National Archives, as well as contemporaneous news reports and interviews with Biden's former law firm colleagues and federal court clerks. So they did some real research into this, which is great because they know they're going to find that the guy lies through his face every single day. Anyway, over the years, he's told different versions of the welder story. He told her he received several offers from prestigious law firms, one of which he landed because of his good looks. He says he accepted a job.
Which definitely isn't a lie.
That's bro. Absolutely true, I'm sure. He accepted a job at Prickett, Ward, Burt, and Sanders, but couldn't start work until he passed the bar exam and started as a law clerk at the firm. In his memoir in 2007, he says he had very few prospects after his 1968 graduation from Syracuse, and Prickett took a chance on him.
Thought he was the top of the class.
No. He did say that, right? You remember that? And all of his degrees, and he was at the very tippy top of his class? No. They offered him a job despite his poor grades, which included an F he got in tort class after he was caught plagiarizing. But he worked there anyway. They hired him anyway. And no idea why. But they looked into some of these claims about this. They can't find any validity to any of it, that he was part of it. I mean, it's just incredible. And this is the story he tells to demonstrate, his altruistic reasons for getting into politics. He was so disillusioned at being a lawyer and what came with that, and hurting a man who'd been so injured that he lost part of his noodle and one of his giblets. And I just couldn't take it.
Couldn't take it.
$315,000?
Yeah, I know.
Well, that money was money back then.
I see.
That's when money was money.
Okay. But still, would $2.8 million satisfy you today?
No.
I mean, it's nice. That's a good start. Keep it coming.
No doubt. $2.8 million. No, thank you.
Man.
I'm going to want it replaced, too.
It's embarrassing you're even starting with $2.8 million.
I know.
For this.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Huh. But fascinating. I mean, the guy doesn't tell the truth about anything.
Ever.
He just makes up everything. You know, how many times have we played his background where he lies about what churches he went to and the synagogues and the neighborhoods he grew up in? None of them are true.
House fires. Son's death.
Yeah.
All of it.
I give you
Complete
my
lies.
word as a Biden.
Oh, well, that's powerful. More coming up. And we'll chew the fat with Jeffy as well.
The lion, dog face, pony shoulder.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. Some tweets here. Oliver Klosoff tweets, Biden forgot to mention how Ange told him, Joey baby.
Yeah.
You know how many miles you've traveled on the Key Bridge? Not a joke. Not a joke.
Awesome. That's great.
Not a joke.
He could have slipped right into that, too.
Yes, he
It would
could
have been
have.
great. Yeah.
I wish I'd have been there. I could have told him, don't jump.
Oh, wow.
Stop.
Oh, man.
Too soon?
Too soon.
All right.
Biden's favorite village. I'm surprised they haven't blamed the bridge collapse on January 6th insurrectionists. Is it too late? No, it's never too late.
No, it is not. Because
Trump,
Francis
the
Scott
insurrectionists.
Key Bridge.
Right? Yeah. High Plains Stranger, should we wait and see if Maryland will rebuild the bridge before declaring the feds will do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now would be a time. I will say Keith has a great idea, and he should go do this. Let's go to Baltimore and ask a man on the street who was Francis Scott Key.
I would love to know the percentage.
Yeah, it would.
One of the things
Small.
in that
It's small.
Laura Logan thing that you mentioned is that she wrote that for every $100 that goes into the city of Baltimore, $12 comes from shipping.
Jeez.
Wow, that's
so
gonna
12%
hurt.
of Baltimore's economy
Correct.
is shipping.
Think of the grift that's going to happen making that building that new bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Lone Wolf 2965. Remember some years back there was a controversy over a Chinese company taking over operations of U.S. ports. The same China from which many cyber attacks originate. Does China run Baltimore's port?
They might.
Should look into that. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, a few years ago you would have thought, come on. Be ridiculous, but now
it says here it's owned by the Maryland Port Administration.
Okay,
yeah, that's originated in China.
Is that a Chinese? Maryland is a Chinese origin word.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So Minnesota AG Keith Ellison has a nice point to make about cars. This is powerful.
Yeah.
All right.
We've also got to go upstream. We've got to make sure that the automobiles are not so easy to steal so that they're a tempting, attractive nuisance for young people. And, right now we are investigating two major automakers because their cars are dramatically too easy to steal for young people.
Wow. Okay.
They're investigating them because they're too easy to steal, bro.
Are you purposely making your cars so that they can be
that's
stolen?
What they believe.
That's what
That's what they believe, and that's what they did with the Kia because there's a viral TikTok video on how you can steal a Kia with your screwdriver, and that's Kia's fault. It's not the criminal's fault.
Right.
It's Kia's fault.
Yeah. That's not the young people, because young people are totally blameless. It's too tempting.
It is. And listen,
they're too easy to steal.
How many times have you gone into a store and said, man, that's a product I could just put in my pocket and walk out with. It's so easy.
So
it's
easy.
So simple. I think I'll just do that.
Every day. Every day that happens.
And shame on those companies for making their products so easy to fit in your pocket. Everything.
It's not my fault they're making the product like that.
Right?
I'm just taking it.
Yes.
This is Keith Ellison, Mr. Let's defund the police and look what's happening in Minneapolis. And stop it, bro.
Wow.
Ugh, so bad.
It's really bad.
It's never the criminal's fault.
It's stunning when you consider how stupid some of our representatives are.
Well, he's been a nightmare for a while now, and he's still there.
Yep.
Still there.
Still there.
Yep. How do you keep electing that guy? Holy cow. All right, time to chew the fat with Chevy. All right, got it. Thank you.
Sad day, except for someone in New Jersey.
I don't like
the
this
Mega
story.
Millions, $1.3 billion jackpot. We had a winner last night.
Oh, did we?
In New Jersey.
I did not buy my
one?
ticket in New
One
Jersey.
winner in New Jersey.
Of how much now?
$1.3 billion.
Gosh,
so
how
cash
nice would that
payout would have been $537.5 approximately
After taxes.
after taxes in New Jersey.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Hello. I mean, it's just sad looking at the home screen of the Powerball now. I mean, of the Mega Millions, 20 million. I mean, it's not even. What are we even doing?
Yeah. Why even bother?
20 million. You still have an opportunity with the Powerball tonight, though, at 865 million.
Okay.
So that's worth playing.
Yeah.
For the Powerball.
You can't win if you don't play.
That's a fact.
That's what I've been told.
I don't know why that's. I mean, that's true.
Right.
Pat, how much would you pay for the floating door prop from the Titanic? You know, the door. I mean, it's a classic scene.
The floating
the Jack
door
has
prop.
to let go.
Oh yeah.
Of Cade, and he dies, and she's left floating on the door, almost dead with the whistle. That door.
I'd pay up to $1, probably $1.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
just the $1.
I might pay $1 for it. If I could get it for less, I'd certainly appreciate it.
You're not going to get it for less.
Really?
Yeah, you're not going to get it for less. You're going to get it for more.
What's that going to cost me?
Well, it's going to cost you more than today, $718,750.
Wow.
Should have played the
And that's
lotto.
the prop. I mean, if it was the actual door from some woman named Rose who let Jack slip into the water in the middle of the night.
That's the door they used, right?
if it was actually from the Titanic, maybe it's worth that. I don't know. But the prop from the movie, meh.
Well, I think that's why it just went.
I think Glenn would want that, though, right?
I would
can
not
imagine
be
that
surprised
being in
if
our
it's here.
collection.
I know.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
That's a lot of
if
money
that's
to
here.
pay for it,
It'll
though.
be here next week.
That is, it very well could be. I'll tell you the one thing that I think, a couple things that would be here. I'm surprised Indiana Jones bullwhip from the Temple of Doom.
Oh, wow.
I would like to have that, actually.
Yeah, that's
That'd be fun.
It's cool.
How much would you pay for that? The Indiana Jones bullwhip. Temple of Doom.
Wow. I don't know, $5?
You're not getting it for
$5.
that. You're not
Yeah, I'm
getting
not
it for
getting
that.
it for that?
No.
For $5?
I mean, we could start the bidding there, but you're
That's
not.
5 times what I would pay for the door.
$525,000.
Wow.
For the bullwhip.
Jeez.
And how much would you pay? How much would you pay if I held up the can of shaving cream used by Wayne Knight to smuggle out dinosaur embryos in Jurassic Park? That would be cool. I'm
read
surprised
they were going to auction that.
That might actually be here in this building soon.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if Glenn Mercury One actually bought that.
What are they asking for that? Or where is it now?
Well, I mean, it's auctioned off now. Someone purchased it for...
They did buy it.
$20.
$20? You can start your bidding at 20. Sure, let's start your
there
bidding at 20
if you want. You're going to be quickly buried, but whatever.
In fact, I don't even know why you got in the room.
Was it a lot less than the other two, though?
$250,000.
Oh, okay.
For the can. That would be cool to have.
Yeah, it would.
That would be really cool to have. I'd be excited to have that. Anyway, for those of you bummed that you won't be able to be in Paris for the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics, I mean, who isn't? And you thought you'd be stuck at home, only able to watch the event on your 38 to 65-inch televisions.
I'm sorry, that logo that I know that they're going for. They're going for the flame.
The flame.
It looks like a 1960s hairdo.
Yes,
There's
it
the
does.
Lips,
I know.
It's a woman.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Sure does.
What is?
Yeah, that's the logo. But NBC's live broadcast of the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony you'll be able to see it at IMAX theaters. Marking a first in Olympic history.
That's what I'm doing. I barely turn it on at my house. I'm not going to go to a
Spectators in over 150
IMAX.
U.S. locations will experience the grandeur of the games like never before.
Is that the only place they're showing it?
Well, on NBC.
Is it exclusive? Oh, it will be on NBC.
Yeah, I mean, you
and
can see
it's
it
IMAX theaters.
You can see it on your little bougie 38-inch, 65-inch TV, but not an IMAX grandeur.
That's right.
Cool.
So,
Be there.
Wow, compelling. That's really
right?
compelling.
When
Thank
can
you
I
for
buy
sharing that.
tickets to this at the IMAX?
You can probably get them right now.
Okay, let me.
As they're promoting it, I said it's amidst a growing renaissance for large format cinema.
Is there a renaissance?
I don't know. And it says the spectacle spotlights IMAX's unique ability to bring collective, awe-inspiring moments to life. And they talk about how a bright future for big screen events. Yeah, it's been happening for quite some time. Appreciate you coming on board, NBC. No problem. Welcome along. Anyway, you don't have to watch it at home. You can go to IMAX and catch the beautiful opening ceremony of the Olympics from Paris.
Very exciting.
I know. Your boy,
sounds like it,
or your man, Sam Bankman-Fried, is going to be sentenced tomorrow. The fallen crypto star.
Your man.
Pat knows SBF. They're buds. I don't know how long a stay in prison is going to be. Criminal sentencing guidelines call for him to receive 100 years. Prosecutors have called for a sentence of
I'm going to take
40
the under
to
on
50.
that. I'm taking the under.
His lawyers have suggested 6.5 years. That's enough time he's learned his lesson. Don't worry about those million people and those $10 billion of money lost.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like 32 now. So what do you think? I don't know. Maybe they sentence him to 50 years out in 20.
No,
shoot.
I don't think he'll get that. Do you think so? I mean, maybe. I'm
okay. 40 years out in 10.
He'll get closer to what his lawyers are asking for.
It's community service.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So in 2021, California Governor Gavin Newsom, you know me, I love him, signed Assembly Bill 1475 into law, which prohibits local law enforcement from publishing mugshots on social media platforms if the individual is accused of a nonviolent crime. The only expectations are if releasing the photo would aid in the capture of a suspect, a judge orders the release of the photo, or there's existing threat to others. And they also expanded on that prohibition last year with Amendment AB 994 to include the removal of all mugshots from social media after 14 days, regardless of the crime. That's, and because it's Governor Newsom in California, I don't like it, but that's the way it is. But we all saw the viral photos of suspects with their faces as Lego heads in the recent past, and it was funny. We all smiled, moved on. Not the Lego company.
Oh,
The California Police Department has been ordered by Lego to stop using character heads to cover up photos of suspects. Lieutenant Jeremy Durant of the Marietta Police Department, the Lego group reached out to us, in his words, respectfully, asked us to refrain from using their intellectual property in our social media content, which, of course, we understand and will comply with. And we are currently exploring other methods to continue.
That's funny.
That's good stuff.
I hope another company like, I don't know, Minecraft or something creates a perp head that the police can use.
That's great.
That'd be awesome. Really funny. Until then, though, no more Legos. Don't do it.
Lego needs to relax.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, now their product is associated with crime.
Right.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
It's their intellectual property.
Yep.
Don't be messing with Legos, man. Reminder to subscribe to my Chewing the Fat, my daily podcast, available wherever you listen to your podcast, Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Subscribe and enjoy. And today's Chewing the Fat segment here on Pat Gray Unleashed program, brought to you by Kexi Cookies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You
wow.
can find out more by going to Kexi.com.
They must have bought a heavy ad schedule.
You still have an opportunity to get your Winnie the Pooh Easter cookie box while availability lasts.
Do that
So
fast.
hold on, I've got a question.
Kexi.com.
The other thing you can do, let me just remind.
Yeah.
What we have the Kexi.
This was not part of the deal.
We have the Kexi cookie March Madness bracket right now that you can get online as well. That's
hold
kind of
on.
fun.
That wasn't in the ad copy that was sent to
No,
me
it's
for Kexi.com.
Well,
So
then
hold on
never
a second.
mind.
Kexi Cookies is the inaugural sponsor of this segment of the program, this Chewing the Fat segment. So if someone comes along and flashes more money your way than Kexi, would you be willing to give them the sponsorship of this segment?
Of course.
Well, we've got a signed contract, though, where you can't right now.
But you've already broken that by adding stuff in there that wasn't part of the deal.
Well, I'll see you in court, my friend. I'll see you in court.
So if you're an account executive here at the Blaze, there you go.
There you go.
Go sell it.
Yep.
Thank you. The actor from Yellowstone, Forey J. Smith, you know him as Lloyd Pierce.
All right.
You know, this guy, the old cowboy. When you see, you go, oh, yeah, that guy. He's in a little hot water for being drunk on a flight and getting kicked off, claiming that he was kicked off the flight after telling crew members that he didn't want to sit next to the person who was wearing a mask.
I love this.
Well, I'll let him tell you in his Instagram post.
You know, my social media people tell me that you like me face to face, Well, you know what? I can't say face to face what I want. Like, I just got kicked off a plane in, where the hell am I at? Houston, Texas. Because I told them that I didn't feel comfortable sitting next to somebody with a mask on. Yeah, I've been drinking. I've been sitting in the airport for 3 hours. Yeah, I'm drinking. I ain't drunk. But they throw me off the plane because I'm drunk. Because you people won't stand up and tell everybody what this is. I just told them I didn't feel comfortable about sitting next to somebody that had to wear a mask. And I'm off the plane.
And then it cuts off. He doesn't say what airline it was, and he may not have been drunk, but he was under the influence for sure. But it wasn't enough to get kicked off the plane before he complained about the masked person. So, way back in 2022, remember, he stated that he would miss the Screen Actors Guild Awards because he was unvaccinated. And he posted a video that said he meant no offense to anyone. I'm not vaccinated. It's a requirement to be vaccinated to be at the ceremony. You have to have the booster shot and a negative COVID test. You have to wear a K9 mask, whatever kind of mask. And I'm not vaccinated. I will not get vaccinated. I haven't been vaccinated since I was a little kid. I don't vaccinate my dogs. I don't vaccinate my horses. I've never had a flu shot. I never will. I believe they compromise your immunities. So move on.
There you go.
Now, I love him for that. He did not bend the knee
It's
for
cool
that.
to see Lloyd the actor and Lloyd the person are basically the same person.
Oh, yeah. Same guy. Now, really, the only reason that I did this story was because Forey J. Smith, born and raised in the mean streets.
Forey's from Helena?
Yeah, he was born and raised in the main streets.
That's kind
He
of cool.
grew up on his grandparents. Well, now, just outside of the city limits, though. He grew up on his grandparents' ranch located southwest of the city.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's how he made it out alive, because he wasn't living in the actual mean streets.
Awesome.
That's the only reason. All right, so we don't have a lot of time. I've got last week we talked about the solar eclipse, the devil comet. We mentioned several counties here in Texas have issued disaster declarations. They've advised local residents to stock up on food and gas. Oklahoma has announced it's activating its National Guard to assist local governments during the eclipse. Now the Federal Aviation Administration has issued a warning about possible travel disruptions related to the April 8th total solar eclipse.
It's going to be dark.
So it's going to be possible.
Relax.
We can't fly in the dark. Heath, I don't know what.
No, we can't. We're not
we
NASA.
can't.
We're not talking NASA here. I know NASA can't.
And the FBI can't work in the dark.
Right.
We know that.
Right. We know those two agencies are going to totally shut down. NASA and the FBI are done for the day.
So,
but the
it's
rest of
over.
us, I think, can get through it.
Well, cities along the path: Dallas, San Antonio, Little Rock, Toledo, Cleveland, Erie,
Are you an
Buffalo,
astronomer,
New
Pat?
York, Burlington.
What?
Are you an astronomer?
No, you're right. I'm not.
Do you work for NASA?
No, I do
Sit
not.
this one out.
We're done.
Okay.
We're done.
All right. Wow, you shut me down.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hang on, we're going to play some clips from our Alex Jones interview in just seconds. Now, the reason we couldn't, I know there's a lot of people who are upset that it's only behind the paywall. That's because mostly this is going to be difficult to navigate because of YouTube and the social media networks that have banned him. So if we play him, they'll ban us.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Not America.
So
Anybody
don't blame
heard?
us. Blame social media.
It's a phrase called free spatch, free spoke.
Spec.
Free
spec.
spec.
This is a
that what it
perfect
is?
example. Now
Okay.
you know the struggle that I've had to keep chewing the fat free.
Right, exactly. That's a good point, Jeff. Yeah, you've tried
You
so
can still
hard.
subscribe today to Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher for free.
Bring it
For
home,
free.
baby.
Many
Bring it
platforms.
home.
But
wow.
Now you know the struggle.
Yeah. I get just a sense of it because I'm sure it doesn't compare to what you've gone through all these years. But we got some tweets here before we get to the some of the highlights from the interview. Dave the Man tweets, the Key Bridge Conspiracy Friday. Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, the future Free Think Friday episode, perhaps.
And invite Lara Logan?
That'd be great.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just text her.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Do it.
Yeah, I'll text her. Okay.
Do it. She'd be great on a lot of different topics.
Yes, she is fantastic.
But we've got the JFK show this Friday.
Oh, nice.
That should be fun. That's one of the things we talked to Alex about. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Uniparty Monger on the Keith Ellison and how easy cars are to steal now, and that's why we're investigating Kia. Who's the other one? Kia and somebody else.
He said
major auto.
Yeah, two major automakers.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Keith Ellison, will Congress get investigated because the money in our treasury is so easy to steal? Oh, man. Adrian Slade, Keith Ellison basically said those cars should not have worn those dresses.
Yeah.
Blaming the victim.
Exactly right.
Tacit Spectator, Joe Biden has been lying for so long he's incapable of telling the truth. Not a joke. I'm not joking.
I mean, look, we had the guy in Canada, right? Tell people don't leave their keys inside the house, or
Right.
on the where
you can just reach in and
you just reach in your own home and get
you
the
should
keys
leave them
to
in
your
the car.
cars. Yeah.
Are you insane? That was Toronto.
It's unbelievable. Squatching Duck, what size door frame does the Titanic door fit? When he buys he's obviously just going to put it in the door frame, which would be great. Right? So, I mean, you want to make good use out of it.
You do. I wouldn't want you to make a coffee table or anything.
I'd totally make a coffee table out of that door.
So Monday, we played the Alex Jones interview that we did in its entirety. Here are some of the highlights from the show. We asked about this particular building being a CIA substation. A few years ago, you mentioned that this facility is a CIA substation. CIA, FBI substation. And
we haven't forgotten, Alex.
We haven't forgotten.
Okay.
And that Glenn might even...
Our cover was blown, man.
Might have even been an agent for Obama. Have you changed your mind on those two things?
Yeah, I was probably drunk when I said
that. Okay. Fair enough.
That's fine.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I've already apologized to Glenn. I think Glenn's a good guy. I think
guy.
like Tucker Carlson, who's apologized to me, Tucker Carlson said like 12 years ago, Alex Jones is a evil, lying, parasite. Because he thinks that the government knew about 9/11. I wasn't saying radical Islam doesn't exist. I wasn't saying that there aren't terror attacks. I was saying the government, I thought, knew about it. And so people that were, I think, naive because they believed in the system, at that point, thought I was a bad guy just saying things to be mean. I've grown. I've gotten wiser. I'm 50 years old now. I think Glenn Beck's done some of the best work ever done exposing the Soroses and the New World Order and the globalists. And I know he got run out of Fox because he wouldn't back down. So I admire Glenn Beck.
Pause it for
I just didn't like Glenn Beck.
He was on a roll here, so we didn't interrupt it.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck was not run out of Fox. I don't want to let that stand because there's so much misinformation
about
online about
whole
that,
deal.
and it was all vomited out by Fox. Fox did not run him out of the building. He quit. To come and create this. They're not gonna. Well, at that time. They've done it twice, but 3 times even. But they weren't going to fire, the host that everybody was talking about at the time.
Hello.
Everybody was.
You think how great The 5 does at 5 a.m. now?
Right.
That wasn't even a
not even a
slot.
Right.
Until there was Glenn Beck.
Right. They had. I don't know. Did they even have 1 million viewers in that time slot before
honestly,
Glenn?
I don't know.
think so.
Probably not.
Anyway, but he apparently Alex. I don't know if he just misspoke it or misphrased it, but It makes it sound like he got fired at Fox, which did not happen. And that seems to be the prevailing theory in the media, is that he was fired. Anyway, go ahead.
Glenn Beck. I just didn't like Glenn Beck when he would say, Alex Jones is full of it. There's no plan to arrest constitutional patriots. Well, but we had newscasts and documents, and I understand Glenn couldn't believe that at the time. Now Glenn sounds like me on that. I sound like him on other things. So I think it was an honest misunderstanding. But to be honest with you, Glenn attacked me first. I remember early on, I've been around forever now, 10, 15 years ago, Glenn Beck attacking me. And I get it. He would hear my show and hear things out of context. Like, this guy's a lunatic. And so I don't want to fight with Glenn. And sometimes old clips resurge and get millions of views. And I think Glenn does so much good. I watch his show all the time. I think he's one of the best commentators out there. I love him. And so then I just, he's way more hardcore than he used to be because the world is more hardcore. And Glenn now admits that things are bad and that, I mean, look, so I was some off base. Glenn was off base. If you kind of move the two together, you kind of get the answer.
Yeah, we've all come a long way.
Yes, we
over
have.
the years. We've changed, grown, evolved on certain items, and Alex is no different. Then we talked to him about American values.
I don't know what the number one biggest issue is or story, but I do know attacking families, attacking hard work, attacking competition is destructive, and it's because the powers that be don't want competition and want to hamstring society. I don't know how they think with a bunch of dumb people they're going to have some place to spend all this money they've got. We have to believe in the classic thing that aristocrats got. I'm not saying I'm an aristocrat, but real aristocrats, at least in function, are supposed to be the elites, be smart, but try to build the people up because it's the overall society.
Right.
Meanwhile, Zuckerberg and Bill Gates are all building bunkers because they've helped create a society so dangerous. With all their billions, they want to go hide in a hole in the ground. How is your money? Henry Ford had his problems, but he was right to say, I'm going to pay my workers triple because they're all going to buy my car and it's going to build an economy. Then everybody else is going to see the cars and then they're going to buy the cars. It was self-serving. Well, it's self-serving for the establishment to want to have a renaissance and empower people so that you don't have to hide in a bunker so you can live in a palace that's society. And so that's really the message I have is stop rejecting the American experiment. It's the best house in a bad neighborhood by light years.
Amen.
And so that's my message is do not reject this. It's our only hope.
Amen.
And they're doing a great job. The left,
they are.
The opposition is doing a great job of tearing down everything that we've ever believed in. You brought up families. Look at the BLM website. Well, you can't now because they took it down. But one of the goals on the BLM website, we read it many, many times, was the destruction of the Western family unit. Who wants that? Well, BLM did.
Yeah, they do.
Communists do, because they know that's the foundation for our very civilization. We're going to talk about this on Friday in depth, but he also mentioned JFK.
Oh, I interviewed before he died the guy that's based on Mission Impossible, or Mission Impossible is based on him, E. Howard Hunt, the famous plumber. He ran the operation, and we even had deathbed confessions from the shooters. Woody Harrelson's dad basically admitted he did it. He was one of the shooters.
Wait.
He died in prison for killing a federal.
Wait, this is new information to me. Okay, so so it was a CIA operation is what you're saying. And Woody Harrelson's dad participated?
Charles Harrelson.
Okay. These are the shooters.
And I interviewed the admitted mistress of Madeline Duncan Brown of LBJ that was there a week before when he said those Kennedys will never embarrass me again. And so absolutely elements of the CIA and the deep state. And by the way, Richard Nixon basically told Roger Stone this too. He was his confidant. They killed Kennedy, blew his head off in Dallas. 100% that was a coup. 100% that's going on.
Oh my gosh. So the CIA and LBJ involved in that?
Well, when I say CIA, LBJ was the vice president.
Right.
So yeah, it was the vice president using the CIA.
Using the CIA.
They had
right, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had mafia cutouts and other teams, and they had the military, in the air above in case there was a civil unrest.
Wow. That's going to be fascinating. We also had Ron Paul being interviewed by, was it Tucker Carlson, who also said that was absolutely a coup.
Yeah, that was the day that
November 22nd,
America...
1963 was the day that America stopped being America because we had a coup.
It was no January 6th.
No, right.
Let's be clear about that.
Right, but what is? Only January 6th is January 6th.
Democracy Thank you.
Almost died.
Almost
that very day. That very day. Trump nearly killed it.
He did.
He and his minions, at his behest, almost killed democracy right there, right then and there. That's fascinating, though. The JFK thing, I can't get enough of it right now. So I guess there does seem to be some, I don't know, weird circumstances surrounding that shooting.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I was told it was just one guy.
Right. It was just Lee Harvey Oswald, who just, I guess, disgruntled, didn't like him.
Mad.
Killed him. And then, how often does it happen where the assassin is assassinated? I mean, all the time, right? So Jack Ruby killed the assassin, and then he died himself.
Well, he was sick.
In prison.
And how
he got
often
sick.
does it
what are you
happen
going to do?
When you're at the top of a building shooting a president of the United States while you're down getting snacks in a vending machine? How often does it happen? That
if I had a nickel
the same
for every
exact
time.
Huh. Anyway, I like this.
You're alleging that he was at a vending machine?
Lee Harvey Oswald was?
I think we'll learn on Friday, won't we?
Okay. All right.
So we got another clip here that I just found.
Amazing.
This is my favorite moment of the whole interview.
Yeah, it's amazing. Here's the little ray of sunshine, Alex Jones.
I have a lot of faith because the globalists have bragged about this in the white papers that are public. They thought they'd intimidated America in the last decade. Really, with Obama, it accelerated on this trajectory. That all their demonization, attacks on conservatives and populists and Christians and nationalists was intimidating us. No, Americans were busy working and asleep.
Thank you.
Now we're awake, and the intimidation.
I hope so.
The bullying isn't working. So here's a microcosm. A little over a week ago, Letitia James, the corrupt Soros AG, persecuting Trump, running all this, for those that don't know, and your audience does, goes out and speaks at the New York Firefighters Union. Well, she gets resoundingly booed. They chant Trump, and then they have the New York union head say, "We're going to hunt you down. Yes. We're going to fire you or cut your pay or demote you."
Well, they need to be re-educated.
Re-educated. See, worse than academic. Exactly. Re-educated. and the firefighters get pissed and band together and march, and then the union apologizes and says, "You're right. You have free speech." So yes, we bow down and cower on this trajectory. We're Venezuela / North Korea / Nazi Germany. But if people find their old American instincts and say, because they can persecute Trump and persecute Alex Jones and misrepresent what we said, they're doing that, as Trump always says. They're not trying to get me. He says they're trying to get through me to get you. If we don't cower and find our old American instincts that made us so great, this will be the greatest renaissance of freedom, the greatest reigniting of freedom we've ever seen. If we cower, we will be destroyed. But look at Texas pulling $8.5 billion out of BlackRock. We're trying to shut down the energy sector. Look at Planet Fitness. After a woman finds a man in the bathroom and complains, she gets kicked out. Now they've lost massive market cap. So we are finding our legs. It's easy to attack somebody in their bed while they're asleep. Well, guess what? We're not asleep anymore. We woke up, our nose is broken, we got a black eye, but we're a lot, and we're like, you know what? It's clobbering time.
Wow, Alex Jones just gave me hope.
Yeah, isn't that great? That is great. It's like getting hope from Glenn Beck or something.
Right.
It's like, wait,
stuff.
What?
No, not from you.
Things must be really bad if these guys are more hopeful than we are.
That's a great point, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear the interview in its entirety, I assume you can go to blazetv.com.
Yeah, blazetv.com. You use promo code PatBingo30, and then you
excellent.
Yeah, go to the show page for Pat Gray, and it's in the overtime.
It'll be right there.
I found it fascinating.
A lot of fun.
And I think you will, too.
A lot of fun.
Great stuff. Appreciate Alex being on the show. All right, financial experts thought we were in the clear. They were anticipating around 6 rate cuts by the Fed this year. I think 1 or 2 of them were already supposed to have happened. Yeah, well then, the inflation data came back in, and it's higher than expected. So this isn't going away. It can't. The U.S. is $34 trillion in the hole, and yet we keep printing money, which pushes the prices you pay every day even higher and makes the value of your dollars so much less. So you can either bury your head in the sand, or you can do something about it. Diversify a portion of your savings into gold with Birch Gold Group. That's your hedge against inflation. And Birch Gold makes it really easy to own. They'll help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and you don't have to pay a penny out of your pocket. So text PAT to 989898 and get your free info kit. They'll send you the info kit on gold, read up on it, and decide, is this right for me? Should I do something about the inflation? Should I try to get a hedge? Text PAT to 989898 right now.
Pat Gray.
Can you believe the feedback on Ronna McDaniel being hired at MSNBC?
Amazing.
Wow, that was crazy. How dare you hire Republican? Shut up. You ever heard of Jen Psaki, who works for your stupid network? Why is that okay?
That's okay, because she's not brushed with Trump.
George Stephanopoulos, James Carville, they all came from the liberal Democrat Party. And they're all in the media. And you've never had a problem with any of that.
Van Jones.
A little tantrum they threw actually got her fired before she even started.
Yep. She did one interview on there.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was Scarborough
a bunch of crybabies.
And Chuck Todd.
And Rachel, right?
And Rachel Maddow. They all were just having
those three.
Cow.
Those three.
Mika Brzezinski.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They all went nuts over it. Jeez. One of them said, was it Rachel Maddow that said, why would you pay somebody to lie?
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. Have you ever looked in the mirror there, Puddin'?
Wait a minute.
$8 million a year to lie every single day?
Rachel, she doesn't even do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Rachel Maddow is the dude that pushed the Russia hoax thing.
Mm-hmm.
She said that the virus stops when you get vaccinated. Absolutely stops.
Right.
Several documented
she lied. I mean, she lied so well they gave her days off. She doesn't have to work every day.
It's amazing.
It is.
That's really amazing.
Okay.
All right, we've got more amazing stuff like this footage about a solar farm in Texas.
Oh, green energy, baby. It's the future, you know.
Is it true? Speaking of that, before we get to the video, I keep reading these articles or commercials, I guess they're commercials, that Texas must pay for your solar panels if you ask. Is that true? Does anybody know if that's true?
Chris would know.
Chris, is that true? Does Texas have to pay for your solar panel if you ask them to?
You get some kind of big rebate. I know my son just put a bunch up.
It's a weird state to be doing that.
My son just put a bunch up, and he did it because it was some big rebate money plan.
It's rebate. They do
all
pay for it. Not all of it.
Pretty close, though.
33%.
It was a lot. Plus, it took a bunch off his power bill.
Wow.
It was the only reason he did it. He was like, yeah, good, put them up.
Well, and when you have all those solar panels, here's what happens to them when it hails.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Oopsie daisies. Seems to be some holes in there. Will it still work after this?
I didn't know solar panels
totally
grew
destroyed
in the fields like that.
Look at that.
They're gone.
Oh, man. And what did you think was going to happen? Eventually, it's going to hail there, right?
No.
In Texas?
No, not in Texas.
No, come on now.
That was silly.
That was a rare
I withdraw
moment.
my point. I withdraw it. Absolutely shocking that it hailed in Texas. That just doesn't happen. You know what that is? That's the weather weirding, the climate change thing.
Thank you.
So,
the global warming.
So
that's what that
the
is.
two homes that were powered by that massive field.
Yeah.
are going to have to find their electricity elsewhere.
There were 2 homes, but it's 2 tiny homes. It's those little teeny things that they built.
I didn't,
container homes. The container homes.
I wasn't going to get into specifics. I was trying to just keep it generic. 2 homes.
Look at that. Holy cow.
It cannot light the street lights outside those 2 tiny homes, though. You need a bigger farm for that. But.
Oh, they got a generator out there for that.
Oh, okay.
You should actually hold on. You just reminded me when you said the generator thing. I think that you being the neighborhood gadfly, Pat, it shouldn't be too difficult for you to go over to your neighbor with the generator and just say, "Hey, can I
plug in?
Can I just run up? I'll buy it. I'll buy the extension cord.
I'll buy the extension." That's a pretty big offer because that cost me $30 to buy one that big. That long.
Get in good with you.
I'd be willing to do it.
And then you can say,
you don't mind, do you?
I'm just going to plug a refrigerator in if the power goes out, if you're cool with that.
I just need one plug.
Now, he doesn't have to know that really in your house you're plugged into everything. You can just say, hey, help a neighbor out,
Yeah.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah. Such a great system, though. As soon as the power's off.
Yeah, those are the homes
right
that are, when the power does go out for an extended period of time, those are the homes we're attacking. No, the ones that have the generator sounds, we're coming after those.
Yeah. And when there's a real emergency, that's going to be true.
Jeffy saying the quiet part out loud.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's true. I mean, those people
I thought about
will
that.
be attacked.
I thought about that years ago in Florida, too, because they made such a big deal during hurricanes and stuff with the, everybody needs a generator. And I'm like, I don't want to be the house that has the generator. No power. There's no power, no traffic, and you're the house.
This is okay.
With the machine going and the lights are on. I don't want to be that guy. I do.
Scary.
I do, but I don't.
Right. This is Jeffy. Whenever the power goes out, he goes stands outside his neighborhood. He's like, okay, hang on. Here
going to that guy.
314 Locust Drive.
Going to that guy. Yep.
Yeah. Oh wait, where's that? Where's that rumble? Okay. That's that's my neighbor over here.
It's absolutely, those are great to have, but you
don't want to make yourself a target if it really hits the fan.
Yep. Well, and sometimes, like if it's a natural disaster, like a hurricane or a tornado, the power can be out for a week or two. In Houston, after a couple of those, it was off for 2 weeks in some areas.
Except for that guy.
Really need a generator then, but if you do have the generator, you're pissing the people off around you.
I mean, bury it.
Hold on.
Bury it. Put it in some kind of thing where you don't hear the noise of it.
At what hour or what day do you start pissing off your neighbors instead of being, man, I wish I was prepared like him? What about hour 2?
Yeah, maybe.
You're like, we're going over there.
We're going over there.
At the latest, it's hour 2. 888-900-3393. Much more. Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
The administration's brilliant spokesperson, KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, was on a radio station yesterday, and
which is weird.
Yeah,
it's really weird. She showed up on WBT in Charlotte.
Weird. That is a weird place.
I looked at their schedule. I know they run Glenn Beck's weekend show on the network. Mark Levin's on it, and a lot of local guys. In fact, the interview was with their news director, Mark Garrison. So I don't know when she was. She's on the morning show, I guess, and the news director does the interview or whatever. But it's really strange why she would end up at WBT.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Talk. I have a theory about that. But her interview.
What's your theory?
That she thought it was WBET.
Yeah. There's some bad communication behind the scenes there.
I bet it was.
They just assumed.
There's no way she shows up on
She thought it was black entertainment television. Yeah. Maybe.
I don't have anything else to share.
I mean,
Didn't go well.
I don't
for
know
her.
why she said they would say okay to her to be on a regular talk station.
Yeah, it's weird.
I bet while she was on hold and she heard the Glenn Beck promo playing while she was waiting, she thought, wait, who booked this? What?
Yeah.
And then she was looking for a way to get off before the interview began. But boy, she was not happy.
Here's what happened.
When I told a number of people that I was talking to you today, it was interesting, though. They all said, would you please just ask her, does the president have dementia? So before I move on from that, does he?
Mark, I can't even believe you're asking me this question.
I can't even believe
that is an incredibly offensive question to ask.
But you know people ask it.
Wait, let me. No. You, Mark, you're taking us down this rabbit hole. Let me be very clear about this.
Okay, please.
For the past several years, the president's physician has laid out in a comprehensive way the president's health. This is a president, if you watch him every day,
we do.
If you really pay attention to his record and what he has done, you will see exactly how focused he's been on the American people.
That's why the question, dipwad, because we watch him every day. That's why he asked you.
Watch me.
Right. He tells us to do that. We do it. And then we draw the conclusion he's got dementia. That's what's happened here. It's not like this guy is so sharp and so amazing that it's a ridiculous question. I don't. It's really frustrating.
It is, and
really
again, this is why it surprises me she would go on this station because any legitimate talk station like WBT, you have the spokesperson, the White House spokesperson on. You have to,
right? Have to. All right, there's more.
Historic his actions has been, and so I'm not even going to truly really take the premise of your question. I think it is incredibly insulting, and so we can move on to the next question.
Gas prices and grocery prices, then big topics here in North Carolina. How does Mr. Biden win votes when people don't have as much disposable income?
Look, the president understands. He grew up in a middle-class family, working-class family in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Which
he gets
is it, by the way?
He understands how difficult it is for Americans who are sitting around their kitchen table every month trying to figure out what they're going to pay for. You have to remember when the president walked into this administration, there were multiple crises happening. There was COVID. There was the economy was in the tailspin because of the last administration, because of what the President Trump left us with. Now you're asking me about gas prices. The president took action on gas prices. Let's not forget. Russia's invasion on Ukraine skyrocketed prices of gas, and because the president took action, we are in a different place than we were a year ago on gas prices. Eggs, milk, seafood products, all the important groceries, those costs have gone down because of what this president has been able to do. And with that, thank you so much, Mark. Have an amazing day.
And she's out.
Wow. And
wow. Have a nice day.
Wow.
We need to hear that. Yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.
I love how they added that dial tone at the end because you don't get that effect anymore.
No, you don't. Sad.
Well, she was looking for a way out of that interview. I got somebody to go
I would be fascinated to know how
somebody got
got
fired 60 seconds after that for booking it.
Oh, man. Oof. That's hard to listen to because there's no accountability. Nope. They're not responsible for anything. All of that stuff got worse once Biden took over and his policies kicked in. Everything got worse.
There's nothing better.
And it has eased up slightly since then, but it's still far worse than what he took over. Far worse. We've given you the numbers. It's like, the grocery prices are up over 20% since he took office.
Yeah, and when you say it's getting better, it's actually still getting worse.
Yes, just at a slower rate.
Right. I swear, this economy sucks.
Man, it's so frustrating. And yet the polls are starting to show some movement for him. For some reason,
I don't understand.
I don't either.
I really don't understand. Okay, and I'd be interested to know also. I know she was doing these interviews with the great big book of everything in front of her because there's no way she speaks without that thing. I don't know how they set up the interview. Good for them. Good for WBT for setting it up and making it happen, and good for asking the questions. Their news director asking the questions that we all would ask.
Yeah.
If given the opportunity. I mean, it's not the Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? That she's going on, which is what leads me to believe that she actually did. It was a screw up. I don't know if it was her. I don't know if it was her do people. I don't know who it was, but somebody thought that was WBET.
Because they don't go into to unfriendly territory.
No, they do not.
They just don't.
They do not.
Should we try to book an interview with her and call it, yeah, we want you on WTB and not tell her it stands for The Blaze?
Yeah. See what we can make happen there, because I know she wouldn't come on.
Not a way, no chance.
Come on. But back to Joe Biden, the boss of KJP, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
And what he was doing yesterday, he was giving a speech touting Bidenomics because everything's so great. Like KJP was just telling us.
This is why his poll numbers are going up that you referenced.
Because he's fixed everything.
Okay.
Folks, you notice the leading economists aren't making much fun of Bidenomics anymore. They're thinking maybe it works to build from the middle out and the bottom up.
First of all, him just slurring his way through every sentence that he utters is bad enough. But no, bro, nobody thinks that Bidenomics is working. We're still
you look
making
like an
fun
idiot.
Of it. Yeah.
They don't make fun of Bidenomics anymore? Really?
Yeah, I couldn't understand what he said. He's like,
wow.
Who's always going to make fun of Bidenomics anymore? Yeah, I don't know what the first part of that sentence was. I don't know. Let's see it again. Watch this.
Folks.
You
notice the leading economists aren't making much fun of Bidenomics anymore. They're thinking maybe it works to build from the middle out and the bottom up.
That's not what they're thinking.
You haven't been listening to the leading economists.
Who did you vote for yesterday, Pat, on who you dislike more, Jill or Joe? Do you remember how you voted?
Yeah, it's Joe.
It's Joe? Yeah, I think the results reflect that. Boy, it was close, though.
Oh, it wound up pretty close,
58 to 42, Joe over Jill. Who you like least?
Boy, that's a tough vote right
there. That is tough.
Who do you like least?
That's a tough vote because
hideous.
She is terrible.
She's hideous.
Yeah.
And so is he.
So is he. That's what I'm saying.
So it's a
I
tough
think the tiebreaker
he's
is
the actual president.
Yeah,
right.
him signing legislation, I think, is the tiebreaker.
Yep. And he continued to slur his words and mumble along as always.
But not dementia.
No.
But companies have stopped covering, and that life was put in danger. They just cut off the insurance.
What?
Oh, that's his story.
What story?
Is that his stupid attorney
how he got
story?
into politics? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's that one.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure. He's got a whole bunch of those stories.
Did he mix in the word zip in there? Like what was that?
Actual insurance.
But companies have stopped covering, and that life was put in danger.
Oh,
they
life was
cut off the
danger.
insurance.
That life was put in danger.
Oh, man.
He's good, though, man, right?
He's really good.
Okay.
He's really good.
Okay.
But here's what everybody's focusing on. Donald Trump and his Bible pitch. Selling some Bibles on Holy Week.
Is that real?
Yes.
Is that real?
This is 3 minutes and 15 seconds of real.
I mean, I saw it on my timeline, and I watched the first little bit of it, and I thought, no.
Really? You thought it was AI?
No, that can't be real.
Come on now.
No, it's real. I mean, he said things similar in the past.
Make America pray again, bro.
We'll get to that, but first, let me tell you about the Jace case, and then we'll get to the Trump audio. This is a case that comes with 5 antibiotics in it, 5 different antibiotics, and it's really handy to have because we've got shortages right now. 295 medicines are tough to get.
You know, aside from the loss of life yesterday with the bridge collapse, looking at that ship full of containers, one of the first things I thought of was, I hope none of my medications were on that thing.
Right?
And that's why you need the Jace case.
It's definitely going to create supply issues. I don't know if it reaches all the way to Texas. I would think so. Yeah, probably. But you can be prepared with the Jace case. You get the 5 antibiotics. You can get add-ons. You can get things like ivermectin in this. So please, don't be caught unaware and unprepared. Get the Jace case. It's fantastic. That's J-A-S-E Medical, JaceMedical.com. Use the promo code PAT. You'll save at checkout. That's promo code PAT at J-A-S-E, JaceMedical.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. Here's the Donald Trump clip that's so good, Jeffy thought it was fake.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend Lee Greenwood
Who doesn't love his song, God Bless the USA?
Yeah, we love him.
In connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. This Bible is the King James Version and also includes our Founding Father documents. Yes, the Constitution, which I'm fighting for every single day, very hard, to keep Americans protected. Also, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance are all part of this.
Yeah.
God bless the USA Bible, and it's just very important and very important to me.
Very important.
I want to have a lot of people have it. You have to have it for your heart, for your soul. Many of you have never read them and don't know the liberties and rights you have as Americans and how you are being threatened to lose those rights. It's happening all the time. It's a very sad thing that's going on in our country, but we're going to get it turned around. Religion and Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country. And I truly believe that we need to bring them back, and we have to bring them back fast. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have. That's why our country is going haywire. We've lost religion in our country. All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many.
He's got many.
It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book. This Bible is a reminder that the biggest thing we have to bring back America and to make America great again is our religion.
$59.95.
Religion is so important. It's so missing, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back strong, just like our country is going to come back strong.
Okay.
In the end, we do not answer to bureaucrats in Washington. We answer to God in heaven. Christians are under siege. We must protect content that is pro-God. We love God, and we have to protect anything that is pro-God.
Amen.
We must defend God in the public square and not allow the media or the left-wing groups to silence, censor, or discriminate against us.
Right.
We have to bring Christianity back into our lives and back into what will be again a great nation. Our founding fathers did a tremendous thing when they built America on Judeo-Christian values. Now that foundation is under attack, perhaps as never before. What can we do? Stand up, speak out, and pray that God will bless America again. I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get this Bible. We must make America pray again.
Oh, yeah.
Pray, get educated, get motivated, and stand with me and the legions of Americans asking God to bless our great nation, to bring our great nation back, and to make America great again.
Does he call Lee?
I'm proud to partner with Lee in this offering. He's a very special man.
Yep.
Both as a talent, but maybe even more so as a human being. He's very, very special.
Lee, get on in here.
And I think you all should get a copy of God Bless the USA Bible now and help spread our Christian values with others. There you have it. Let's make America pray again. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
Exactly. Oh, nicely put.
Nice, so well done.
And how much is it? $59.95.
$59.95.
So for just $60, that very special Bible can be yours at a very, very special place.
Is it $59? Is that including shipping and handling?
Oh, good point. I don't know.
We do not know.
I got to find out.
I need the aliens, and I need them now.
But that was reminiscent of something that he was asked about before.
It was.
If you remember correctly. I think this was back in 2011.
Bibles. I understand a lot of people send you Bibles. Is that true?
Well, I get sent Bibles by a lot of people.
Where are all those Bibles anyhow now?
Well, actually, we keep them in a certain place, a very nice place. But people send me Bibles, and it's very interesting. I get so much mail, and because I'm in this incredible location in Manhattan, you can't keep most of the mail you get. There's no way I would ever do anything to do negative to a Bible. So what we do is we keep all of the Bibles. I would have a fear of doing something other than very positive. So actually I store them and keep them and sometimes give them away to other people. But I do get sent a lot of Bibles.
Very interesting.
And I like that. I think that's great.
Okay, so keeps Bibles at a very special place.
That's good. You got to.
Yeah, you have to. In a certain place, a very, very special place.
What kind of lock you putting on that door? The room full of Bibles.
A heavenly lock.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how big the storage unit is.
No, it's not it's not a storage unit. He keeps them in a very special place.
Well, that can still be a special place. I keep them in a special place, but not here.
No,
not here.
There's no
in my
room
tower
for it.
Here on Trump
There's no
Tower,
room for it in Manhattan. Come on.
I mean, you're not going to just let a run-of-the-mill reporter go see it.
That's right. I bought a whole entire storage unit development in Brooklyn. That's where we keep them.
That's not special enough. That's not a certain place, a very special, nice place. That's not what he's talking about.
How many of those?
No.
How many of those Bibles did you order,
What's the
Jeffy?
place? Like what? Maybe 10 floors down?
No.
In Trump Tower?
Jeffy, how many of those God Bless America Bibles did you order already?
I haven't ordered one yet, but I'm looking.
Oh, wow.
But I'm looking because I haven't.
Mr. Johnny Come Lately.
I mean, you seriously.
I'm lost on the Lee Greenwood picture.
Well, he's still, isn't he still, in West Virginia?
He is still in West Virginia.
Okay.
Still at the Rally for America from 2003.
Yes.
Yeah, it's only been 21 years. Yeah, guy he's the Energizer Bunny.
He is.
Can't stop.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that along with the sneaker sales and the Trumpy Bear sales and now the Bible sales, you'll be able to really put a dent into that $175 million bond.
Well, I hope so.
It's due in 10
everybody's
days.
all happy about that, too. That's still
too much.
Still
Yeah.
agonizing.
Yeah, absolutely
ridiculous.
it is.
It's ridiculous. But, I mean, he was right. Tell me it was a little bit rambling,
Nothing.
a little disjointed. But what was he wrong about? I mean, we are in trouble here. We do need religion. We do need the Lord in our lives. Now, if you're an atheist, obviously you don't think so. But for the vast majority of us, we understand where our principles and our rights came from. And our founders were clear on that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's disagreeing with the message. I think it's the fact that a political candidate is selling a Bible.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
The tennis shoes were okay then?
It's all weird.
Yeah, the tennis shoes were fine.
It's all weird.
The bobblehead, the tennis shoes, those were important. Those were important items.
What about the Trumpy Bear, though? The Trumpy Bear is cool. I mean, that one's fine.
Yeah,
was that him?
There's a carve-out for the Trump. No.
But, I mean, here's some of the things we're dealing with in this godless society right now.
Yep.
Check out this from the drag queens in Philadelphia.
This is... Look at this.
Hey, look at clumsy Gerald. The animal's all
Come on
sneered.
now.
Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird.
Why?
Excuse me.
Why are we doing this?
You'd seen Gerald earlier on.
But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song.
They shouted, "It's a
Yeah.
miracle. We must be in a dream."
Where is this from?
Gerald's the best dancer
Philadelphia.
City of
that
Philadelphia.
we've ever seen.
In pursuit of a more perfect, kind, respectful union.
Visit Philadelphia.
Wow.
I mean, they're right there. They're just
Really?
taking a leak right there where the founding fathers made this nation.
My God.
They weren't taking a...
Now, why would you do that with kids? Why? I mean, I don't care about your drag show. I don't care. That's fine. If adults want to attend that, if you want to push that with adults, do it. It doesn't matter. You're trying to sway these children into this lifestyle.
I think what's worse is that the city of Philadelphia is on board. That was a Visit Philadelphia ad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, paid for.
Look at this. I mean, we're in front of Independence Hall with dudes wearing dresses and makeup.
That's better than showing the drug-addicted bums on the street.
I suppose.
All over Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, you got a lot going for you,
No
man.
doubt. What they need is the Trumpinator to come in and take care of business.
Okay. You got the Rock'em Sock'em robot. He's lost his punch. Come on now. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's only got a left hook. Oh, that works. I can't get his... There we go. Yeah, all right. It's been a few years that he's been sitting over here idle.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But both arms work now.
Both arms work now.
Are you throwing it like that?
That's good.
That's probably why it doesn't work, huh, Jeff?
What does that cost? About $89.95? $90?
Well, if you want the set, you can get the Hillary one. See, this is from 2016.
Yeah, that was from a while ago.
Does her head pop up when you...
I wish.
You knocked my block off. Remember those?
Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Hey, you knocked my block off. Stupid. All right.
Cathartic.
888-900-3393. Read this article this morning about Vietnam. Did you realize how far they've come since the Vietnam War? You know, we left in 75, I guess, and the North immediately took over the South. I mean, as soon as we left, they overrun the South. And it's a lot like what happened in Afghanistan. And we said, okay, we can't do that again. And so what does Biden do? He repeats the same thing.
He does the same thing, of course.
So Vietnam was in a really bad situation under communism for years. And they tell this story about 8-year-old Phung Duan Vu and his 10-year-old brother responsible for getting food for their family, which was the constant grip of hunger back in the 80s. They were living in Vietnam in the 80s, so this required ration cards. One of the family's most important possessions was a booklet of vouchers for food. This is how bad things were when the communists took over. As the older child, Vu's brother took care of the booklet, knowing that if he lost it, the family would have nothing to eat. The vouchers inside were printed on waxy yellow tissue paper. They meant the difference between going hungry and having something to eat, although it was never enough. The vouchers were redeemed at food distribution centers. So you had to stand in a food line, and you had to wait for hours, if not all day long. And sometimes at the end of the day, there wouldn't be any food. Yeah, sorry, move along. We don't have any food today. So they would start getting in line for food before the food even got there. And again, they'd wait all day long for it. And the amount of food you got depended on your family's status. State employees got more, factory workers less. If there wasn't enough rice, people got wheat instead. Keep in mind, this is Vietnam. They didn't know what to do with the wheat. And they didn't have the other ingredients to make bread out of it anyway.
Have some wheat.
And if they needed electricity, they only had it for minutes or a couple of hours a day. So it was in really short supply. So they call this period the subsidy period. It was a time of the socialist planned economy. And they dealt with this and suffered through it until the late 80s when what happened? Capitalism.
Thank you.
Capitalism. In 1990, at the very beginning of this, the per capita gross domestic product was $98.
Wow.
$98.
Gross domestic.
Yeah, the gross domestic product, that's per capita. So per person, it was $98.
Okay.
Unreal. As late as 1993, 80% of Vietnam was in poverty. As of 2020, after the switch to capitalism, after starting to manufacture things and export things and get trade with other nations, it went from 80% poverty to 5% poverty.
And what magic did happen there?
Capitalism.
I see.
Capitalism crushed communism and brought Vietnam into the modern world.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.